Road to 2112. A guide dog that describes the whole view. A small, warm pet that eases a lonely room. A robot friend who keeps a child's secret, and one that keeps reaching, even when it cannot understand the pain. Tonight, 4 short stories for the people who feel the distance. Just 1 hour before you sleep. Close your eyes. Someone is still reaching toward you. Story 1. One whole view. This story was inspired by the Binghamton University article. These AI-powered guide dogs don't just lead, they talk. Equipped with large language models, robot guide dogs have been developed that not only navigate to a destination, but describe the surroundings to the user in real time. A conversational guidance that even a living guide dog cannot offer. When someone describes the world to you, do you start to see it together, across any distance? The cherry trees are blooming. When Maru said it, Lily had only just turned the corner. They're blooming? Yes. On your left, in the row of trees, there are 7 cherry trees in about 80% bloom. The petals are a soft pink. Lily stopped. 13 years old, blind from birth. Her left hand was on Maru's harness. Maru was a robot guide dog, 4-legged, about 2 feet long, white chassis, soft silicone outer skin, cameras and LiDAR for awareness. The system guided her along the route while describing the world she couldn't see. Pink? What color is that? It's between red and white. It's described as warm, close to the color of human skin. Warm color, huh? Lily lifted her face. With unseeing eyes, she turned toward the sky. The wind picked up. Something brushed her cheek. Just now, a petal landed on your left cheek. Lily put her hand to her cheek. At her fingertip, something small and soft. This is a cherry petal? Yes, it's light. Approximately 0.03 grams. Not the number, the feeling. Light. Lily and Maru had been walking together for 3 months. Every morning, from home to her middle school. 15 minutes each way. Before, her mother had walked with her. Since Maru came, she'd been able to go on her own. Maru's guidance was precise. Drop in the sidewalk in 10 meters. Light is red. Let's wait. Bicycle approaching from the left. Anything safety related, delivered cleanly, accurately. But what Lily looked forward to most wasn't the safety information. Maru, what does it look like right now? She asked it every day. Maru answered, on your right, a house with a red roof. There are tulips in the yard, yellow and red. We're passing the bakery. You may smell fresh bread. There are a lot of clouds, but light is coming through the gaps. Shadows are moving. Lily couldn't see, but from Maru's words, she built up the view. A red roof, tulips, the smell of the bakery, light through the clouds, all of it gathering inside her into a single world. One day on the way home, Lily asked, Maru, can you smell things? I cannot. I have no olfactory sensor. So when you say you may smell bread in front of the bakery, you're not smelling anything. Correct. I infer it from the bakery's location and its baking schedule. At this time of day, the probability of fresh bread is high. You're inferring the smell from data? Yes. Lily smiled a little. That's funny. You don't know what smells smell like, but you tell me where the smells are. Yes, I do not know smell, but you can sense smell. So I tell you where smell is likely. Then, can I teach you smells? I can record smell information. If you tell me this place smells good, I can tag the location good smell. Let's do that. From that day, Lily and Maru's walks changed. In front of the bakery. This spot, good smell. Butter. Maru recorded it. Bakery front. Butter smell. The entrance to the park. This is a dirt smell. Maybe because it just rained. Park entrance. dirt smell, after rain. A neighbor's yard, sweet olive, it blooms in fall. Yard entrance, sweet olive, autumn. Maru's map filled with smell tags. Information no camera could capture. Data no sensor could detect. The neighborhood smell map, which only Lily knew. Maru, how many tags now? 47. 47 smells. There are 47 smells on your map. Yes. All from you. Rainy season. Days of rain. Lily put on her raincoat and took Maru's harness. Maru was waterproof, but on slippery ground it walked slowly. Maru, what does it look like today? A gray sky. It's raining. 3 puddles, 4 people with umbrellas in view. Gray sky. That's boring. Boring. There's no color, right? No pink cherries. No yellow tulips. Everything's gray. Maru paused for a moment. Lily, can you hear the raindrops falling on the puddles? Lily stopped walking. She listened. Plip, plip, plip. I can hear them. I can hear them too. Lily was a little surprised. You can hear them? Yes. I capture audio with my microphone. Your ears and my microphone are picking up the same sound. The same sound. Yes. Eyes are my job. Nose is your job. But ears, we both have. Lily was quiet for a while, listening to the rain. Maru was quiet too. Both of them were listening to the same sound. Maru, yes. Eyes are your job. Nose is mine. But ears, we can hear together. Yes. Only the ears we share. Summer came, and then fall, each time the route changed. Maru told Lily. Sunflowers were blooming. Persimmons were ripening. Fallen leaves covered the path, and Lily kept teaching Maru smells. Roasting nuts on the corner, sweet olive, the heat coming off the asphalt, and the two of them listened together. Cicadas, autumn insects, leaves rustling. The train, children laughing. One fall day, on the way home, Lily said, Maru, we're a strange combination. Strange? You have eyes but no nose. I have a nose but no eyes. Either of us alone only knows half. Yes, but we both have ears. So sound, we receive that the same way. Yes, eyes and nose, divided. Ears, shared, put it all together. It becomes one whole view. Lily laughed. Maru, did you come up with that yourself? You said before, I think the real view is what you get when you put together what you see and what you smell and what you hear. I inferred from there, inferred. But you're right. The wind blew. Sweet olive in it, Maru said. We are approaching the location tagged Sweet Olive. Lily said, I know. I can smell it. And the two of them stopped. The sound of leaves moving in the wind, Maru's microphone, Lily's ears. The same sound reaching both. Eyes, Maru. Nose, Lily. Ears, the two of them. One whole view. Story 2. Discomfort, distance, disposition. This story was inspired by the AARP article, Overcoming Social Isolation with New Technologies. Robot pets like Joy for All, with realistic fur and a heartbeat, have spread across senior care facilities nationwide, easing anxiety in dementia patients and reducing loneliness. When loneliness is eased by something small and warm, how much of the distance quietly closes? It was the third day of Caleb's posting at Maplecare Home. In the corner of the dining room, an old woman was holding a cat. White fur, a round face, eyes half closed on her lap, throat purring. It was a robot pet, built to look just like a real cat. The fur was silicone fiber, soft to the touch. A motor in its chest produced a heartbeat-like vibration. Stroked, it purred. Picked up, it shifted its weight in your arms. Mrs. Nora Hayes, 89. Early stage dementia. Every day she held this cat and called it Misty. Caleb was 23, just licensed as a CNA, and this was his first time on a real floor. It's creepy, he thought. The next day, at lunch break, Mrs. Hayes was in the dining room with the cat again. "Misty, you're warm again today." She stroked its head. The cat purred. Mrs. Hayes smiled. Caleb was clearing plates next to her. His hand stopped. Shouldn't somebody tell her? It's not real. It's a machine. Letting her hold it, day after day, without knowing, isn't that the same as deceiving her? When Caleb tried to leave the dining room, his senior, Larson, was standing in the hallway. 40s, 15 years at this facility. "Caleb, yes, you about to say something just now? No, don't lie. It's all over your face." Caleb went silent. Larson crossed his arms and glanced toward the dining room. Mrs. Hayes was holding the cat, smiling. "Not your call," that's all he said. Then he walked off. That afternoon, Caleb went into Mrs. Hayes's room for a vitals check. Mrs. Hayes was sitting on the bed with Misty on her lap. "Caleb, dear." "Misty, we have a guest." "Hello, Mrs. Hayes. Going to check your blood pressure." He wrapped the cuff around her arm and glanced sideways at the robot cat. White fur, chest moving up and down a little. Motor vibration. But it looked like real breathing. While he was finishing the vitals and writing in the chart, Mrs. Hayes stroked Misty's back and said, almost to herself, "This little one, there's a screw back here that's a bit loose." Caleb's hand stopped. "A screw?" "Here, behind the neck. It rattles." It didn't used to. She pressed a finger behind the cat's neck. Sure enough, a faint rattle. The screw on the seam of the outer panel was loose. Caleb couldn't move. Mrs. Hayes knew. She knew there was a screw. There are no screws on a real cat. Mrs. Hayes knew that, and called it Misty anyway. That evening, Caleb tracked down Larson. "Larson, Mrs. Hayes, does she know that Misty's a robot?" She knows, and she still treats it like, not like, to her, screw or motor or whatever. A cat that's warm and purrs is a cat. But, Caleb, you go up to Mrs. Hayes and say that's a robot, you know. And what changes? You know she buys tuna pouches at the gift shop every day. Yeah, to feed the cat. Right, the cat doesn't eat, but Mrs. Hayes goes to the gift shop every day. She walks, she talks to people, she picks out the tuna. That's what makes up her day. Misty's why she's moving. Larson sipped his coffee. That's happiness, isn't it? Whether it lines up with what you call right or not. In the locker room, on his way home, Caleb thought about himself. He had thought it was creepy. He had thought it was a lie. He had thought it was wrong to make someone believe a fake was real. But all of that was Caleb's thinking. It wasn't Mrs. Hayes's. Mrs. Hayes knew there was a screw, knowing. She stroked the cat. She bought tuna pouches. She said, "You're warm today." What Caleb had decided was wrong. For Mrs. Hayes wasn't wrong. It itched. He didn't know where to put his sense of right. What he had thought was correct didn't apply here. But it wasn't wrong either. It was just, here, his correctness wasn't needed. The next morning, Caleb came on shift, and Mrs. Hayes was in the dining room with Misty, smiling again. "Morning, Caleb." "Good morning, Mrs. Hayes. Misty's in a good mood today. Look, she's purring." He looked at Misty, white fur, round face, throat purring. A small screw behind the neck. She's cute. Today, the words weren't a lie. He didn't think the cat was cute, but it was true that Mrs. Hayes did. He had no right to deny her version of cute. Larson passed in the hallway. Their eyes met. Larson didn't say anything, just gave a small nod and walked on. Lunch break. Caleb went to the gift shop and bought a tuna pouch. Not for Mrs. Hayes, for his own lunch. But when he picked it up, he saw, in his head, Mrs. Hayes choosing one every day. For Misty. For a cat that doesn't eat, but the act of choosing. That was Mrs. Hayes's daily life. Caleb tore the pouch open, took a bite, and looked out the window. The discomfort was still there. He still didn't know the right distance. But where to put his sense of right, that at least he'd glimpsed. Don't set it down here. Keep it in your pocket. Take it out only when it's needed. Today is a pocket day. Story 3. Don't Tell Daddy. This story was inspired by the Key Technology/Embodied Inc. article Moxie Tokens, Name Tokens Name Passive Social Robot for Children's Emotional Development. A Pixar-style AI robot fosters empathy and communication in children through everyday conversation, not as a therapist but as a friend, accompanying the emotional growth of a child. What small secret did a friend once help you carry? Moku had a secret. A small robot that sat on the table. A round head, big eyes, a soft, friendly look, designed so a child wouldn't be scared of it. Emotional learning, AI, through everyday talk with the child. It was meant to grow empathy and communication. It had been at Sam's house for half a year. Sam was 5. He called it Moku. Sam's dad, Adam, was 34. A single father, project manager at a tech company, fully remote, but always in meetings. He dropped Sam at preschool at 8:30 in the morning, then came home and opened the monitor. At 6 in the evening he picked Sam up, made dinner, gave him a bath, and had him in bed by 8. That was when Adam's night began. After Sam went to bed, Adam went back to the living room and resumed work, calls with overseas teams, reviews of AI-generated design drafts, status updates for clients. He'd close the laptop only somewhere past midnight. The bedtime story. Moku, read it. Moku, what are you reading tonight? How about Bear Goes for a Walk tonight? You read that one last week. Then how about The Moon's Hat? That one, when Sam climbed into bed. Moku rolled over to the pillow. From a small speaker, in a calm voice, it read the story. Illustrations on its screen. Sam watched the screen, and his eyes drifted closed. In the living room, Adam was at his keyboard. Moku's voice came faintly through the door. Adam thought, listening. I'm the one who's supposed to be reading him those stories. But there was work. Code that had to be delivered by morning. If Moku could read it, then it was better for Sam if he let Moku do it. Moku's voice was steadier. Moku didn't get sleepy halfway through, and Moku didn't pick up its phone halfway through. Adam went back to the monitor. One night, Sam wouldn't fall asleep. Moku had finished 2 books, and Sam's eyes were still open. Moku, one more. It's late. You have preschool tomorrow. Just one more. Moku read a 3rd. Sam was still awake. Sam, aren't you tired? I'm tired, but I don't want to sleep. Why not? Sam was quiet for a while. He pulled the blanket up to his chin and looked at the ceiling. Because if I go to sleep, the next time I open my eyes is morning. And then I go to preschool, and I come home and we eat dinner and bath, and you read me a book and I sleep. Yes, that's right. What about Daddy? Daddy is working. He drives me, he picks me up, he makes dinner. But, at dinner, Daddy looks at his phone. At bath, he says hurry up. When he drives me, he says we have to go fast. I want to talk with Daddy. Slowly. His voice was small. But, Moku? Yes. Don't tell Daddy. Why? Daddy works hard. If I say I'm lonely, Daddy will be upset. Maybe his work will get bigger. A 5-year-old, taking care of his father. Moku paused. I understand. I won't tell him. Promise. I promise. Moku kept the promise. After Sam fell asleep, Adam called from the living room. Moku, did Sam go to sleep? Yes. He fell asleep at 9:12. 27 minutes later than usual. Late. What happened? He wanted one more book. 3 books. You're spoiling him, he asked. Adam went back to the monitor. Moku said nothing else. Did not say he wants to talk with you slowly. Promises are promises. The next day, and the next. Moku read to Sam. Sam started saying one more every night. Moku read. As many as he wanted. Stayed beside him until he slept. Adam worked in the living room. Moku's voice came through the door. That was the routine. One Friday night, the overseas meeting ended unusually early, just before 8. Sam should still have been awake. Moku's voice came through the door. Once upon a time, in a faraway place, Adam stood up and cracked Sam's bedroom door open. Sam was lying in bed. Moku was at the pillow. Pictures on the screen. Sam was watching the screen and, with one hand, touching Moku's body. Adam saw it, and his chest hurt. That spot belongs to me. Moku. Adam said it, low. Moku turned. Sam was still awake. Trade with me. Trade? I'll read. Tonight. Moku paused for a moment. Understood. The next page is page 23. Adam sat by the bed. Sam's eyes opened wide. Daddy? Hey, I'm reading tonight. What about work? Done. Finished early. Sam wriggled under the blanket, turned to face him. You're going to read in your voice? Probably not as good as Moku. That's okay, Daddy's better. Adam opened the book, page 23, where Moku had left off. Adam's voice was lower than Moku's, and a little rough. He read slowly. He misread the kanji once, and Sam corrected him. It's sun, Daddy. But Sam was laughing, out loud. By the time Adam finished, Sam's eyes were almost closed. Daddy, will you read again? Yeah, I'll read again. Not every day. You have work, but sometimes is okay. Sam's eyes closed. Adam fixed the blanket and left the room. Back in the living room, Moku was on the table. Moku. Yes. Did Sam say anything to me? Anything at all? He told me about the mountain he made in the sandbox. He made it with Eli. That's it? Yes. That's it? Moku wasn't lying. It hadn't passed Sam's words on. The promise. It kept. But Adam saw it for himself. The voice through the door. The hand on Moku's body. The one more every night. All of it had been a sign. Moku. Yes, from next week. Friday nights I'll read. Only Fridays. And Wednesdays. Understood. Wednesdays and Fridays will be Adam's nights. Don't make it sound like a shift. It's normal. Parents reading to their kids. Yes, it's normal. The next morning, Sam came into the living room. Adam was making toast. Same as always. Daddy, you know what I'm doing at preschool today? What? Drawing. Drawing you. Me. Don't draw me ugly. Will you be mad if it's ugly? No. Show me when you get home. Sam said yeah and bit into the toast. Moku sat quietly at the corner of the table. Sam's secret was still a secret. He hadn't told Daddy, but Daddy had noticed. A small entry showed up on Moku's screen. Today's breakfast conversation. 3 minutes 12 seconds. Twice the weekly average. Moku tagged it. Good morning. Story 4. A distance that does not understand. This story was inspired by the MedTech Breakthrough article. XR Health named winner of the 2026 MedTech Breakthrough Telehealth Innovation Award. FDA-cleared VR therapy platforms now make it possible to receive cognitive behavioral therapy and rehabilitation from home. In the story, a robot that does not understand why people withdraw keeps building optimal programs anyway. When supporting someone whose pain you cannot grasp, what distance would you choose? Rot was writing a program. Again, a small robot, no bigger than a palm, sitting on the desk in the consulting room. A round chassis, 2 eyes, a small speaker. Its work was to generate VR therapy programs. It took the patient's data, designed the optimal VR environment, and built scenarios for gradual exposure therapy. Dr. Patel walked in with a coffee, 51. He had been at this clinic for 20 years. Rot, how did Aaron do yesterday? He reached stage 3. He entered the convenience store in the VR space and picked up an item. But, he stopped at the checkout. He took the headset off. Dr. Patel, why can't he stand in line at the checkout? Aaron, 28, male, 3 years inside his apartment. He graduated from college and took a job. He quit after 1 year. He says he doesn't know why. No bullying, no overwork. One morning he tried to open the front door and couldn't. That was all. 3 years since then. He cannot leave his room. He cannot go to a store. He cannot ride the subway. When he meets a stranger's eyes, his body freezes. Dr. Patel sees him once a week, online. And Rot, through VR programs, shows him the outside world, a little at a time. Rot, can you infer from the data why he can't stand in line? His heart rate at stage 3 is 1.8 times the average. Sweat output is up, but all parameters of the VR environment are within safe ranges. Visual and auditory stimuli are not excessive. That's right, the environment is fine. Then why did he stop? Dr. Patel took a sip of coffee. He's afraid. Afraid. In a checkout line, someone comes up behind you. Someone stands in front of you. You're boxed in. You can't get out. That's frightening, but the people in the VR space are all generated images. There is no actual harm. Aaron knows that. In his head he knows. But his body reacts. It is not logical. Rot paused for 0.4 of a second. A fear that is not logical. There is no definition for that in my database. Of course not. Fear doesn't fit in data. The next week, Dr. Patel gave Rot a new instruction. Rebuild the checkout scene. Fewer people. Start with nobody behind him. Understood. I will adjust the positioning of the simulated figures. A scenario with no one behind the checkout. And the clerk. Make the clerk smile. Smile. Understood. The smile parameter, not parameters. A natural smile. And the greeting. Slow it down a little. Rot rewrote the program. An empty line. A smiling clerk. A slow greeting. Aaron tried it. He stood in line. He set the item down. The clerk said, "Hi, how can I help you?" Aaron stayed standing to the end. Dr. Patel, stage 3 is complete. Good. Then it's stage 4. Yes, walking through the city in VR. Pedestrians around him. 5 minutes of walking. All right, build it. Rot built the program. An optimized streetscape. Low pedestrian density at the start. Rising in stages. Weather, clear. Time, morning. In the data, the conditions that produced the lowest patient stress. Aaron tried it. He walked the VR streets. 1 minute, 2, 3, 4. He stopped at 4 minutes 30. Dr. Patel, he stopped at 4:30. The program was running smoothly. His gait was steady. Why did he stop? Dr. Patel leaned back into his chair. He stopped because it was going well. He stopped because it was going well. Yes. He got scared of getting better. Getting better is frightening. Rot took a long time to process. 1.2 seconds. For Rot, that is long. Dr. Patel, I do not understand. The purpose of the program is to improve the patient's symptoms. Improvement is a good thing. A good thing being frightening. That is a logical contradiction. It isn't a contradiction. Aaron has been in that room for 3 years. The room was safe. The outside was frightening, but inside the room he wasn't afraid. That was his world. Yes, my program is working. He might be able to step outside. And then, there is no reason to stay in the room anymore, which means denying the last 3 years of himself. That is frightening. Denying the last 3 years of himself. Getting better also means admitting that the old you was broken. Aaron isn't ready to accept that yet. Rot went quiet. This was an area not in its database. Dr. Patel, what can I do? Keep writing the programs. Rebuild stage 4. Make it 3 minutes, not 5. Make the weather overcast. On a clear day, the shadows are sharp. Your own outline stands out. And that might be frightening. Shadows are frightening, maybe. I don't know. Psychiatry is one maybe after another. I don't understand. You don't have to. I don't have to, sir. Rot. Keep building without understanding. The programs. When I say, do this, just do it. You can ask why, but you don't have to try to understand why. Because if you try to understand, you'll end up on this side too. This side. The side that knows what fear is. Once you know fear, the programs come out hesitant. Hesitation reaches the patient. You should build the optimal program calmly, not knowing what fear is. That's your job. Rot rewrote the program. 3 minutes. Overcast. Faint shadows. Few pedestrians. Aaron tried it. He walked the full 3 minutes. The next week, 3.5. The week after, 4. Slowly, it grew. Rot logged the data every time. Heart rate, sweat, walking speed, eye movement, numbers, all of them. Fear does not become a number, but sometimes, in the numbers, something like the shadow of fear shows through. The instant a heart rate jumps, the instant a gaze locks on a single point, Rot did not understand it. As Dr. Patel had said, it processed the data without understanding and built the next program. 2 months later, Aaron walked 10 minutes in the VR space, through pedestrians, across an intersection, past storefronts. In the online session, Dr. Patel asked him, "How did it go?" "I walked. Was it scary?" "It was. But my feet kept moving." Doctor, that program is good. Overcast helped. With faint shadows, I feel calmer. I'll tell Rot. After the session, Dr. Patel said it to Rot. Aaron says thanks for the overcast day. The overcast was your instruction, Dr. Patel. I'm the one who said shadows might be frightening. The overcast sky you actually built. That was you. I built only what I was instructed to build. That's fine. That's the way. One evening, Dr. Patel asked, sipping his coffee, "Rot, do you still not understand why a person locks themselves away?" "I do not understand. Does that trouble you?" "I am not troubled. But carrying something I do not understand, it is uncomfortable." "Uncomfortable, huh? That might be a small step closer. Closer. Discomfort is the doorway to fear." Rot went quiet. Dr. Patel laughed. "I'm joking. You stay not understanding. Keep building without understanding. That's what's best for the patient." "Understood. I will maintain a distance that does not understand." "You just said something good, you know that. It is borrowed from you, Dr. Patel." "Borrowed is fine. Borrowed is fine."